It's a good day to have a good day. Hello, everybody. My name's Cece Ray. Thanks for joining me here at Break the Dish, where we break the news and dish out the tea. And boy, do I have some hot tea to serve you today. Woo! You know how that Bravo burst never sleeps. I'm tired. I'm tired today. How's your week been going? Mine's been going okay, but it must be the weather. I hate the change of weather. It gets so cold. I hate it. I'm already ready for next summer. You know, I need to move to Florida. That's probably what I need to do. But I do have a lot to get into with you today. We've got shocking legal news. You know what that's probably about. I've also got some New Jersey casting rumors. Oh, the rumors and the nastiness. You probably can guess who I'm talking about on that one. And of course, we are recapping The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 10. But before we get into all of that, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because here we break the dish. Well, people, we have a lot to get into. If you don't want to hear about all the news, the nastiness, and the rumors, like I said before, you can skip right through to the recap. But we are getting into this right now. This is crazy. So first, we're going to start talking about Stephen McBee Sr. If you don't know who he is the star of the McBee Dynasty, the Real American Cowboys. This is a Bravo show. They've already got the green light to start filming for their third season. So you have time to binge through the first two seasons if you have not watched it, because this is definitely an up-and-coming show. And I've had a lot of people ask me to recap it, so I might just start doing that in the third season. The first season, Stephen McBee Sr., you saw a lot of him. Second season, not so much. And I can tell you the third season, you're probably not going to see him at all. On October 16th, he was sentenced to 24 months after pleading guilty to a multi-million-dollar crop insurance fraud scheme. He also has to pay back, hold your seats for this, $4 million in restitution. $4 million. According to the court documents, he admitted to submitting fake documents between 2018 and 2020 that underreported the crop yields from his farm. This basically allowed him to collect millions in insurance payouts that he wasn't quite entitled to. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I believe that listen, it's a classic let's try to beat the system game. That's basically what it was. And the prosecutors initially said that he could face up to 30 years, but instead he's only going to be serving 24 months, which is a huge reduction. And it's probably likely because he pled guilty. He has to self-surrender December 1st, so I'm probably thinking he's going to probably have Thanksgiving dinner with his whole family, and say his goodbyes and be on his way. It really puts a different lens, though, on the show, doesn't it? I mean, the whole real American cowboy vibe feels a little bit less real when there's a federal fraud involved. You know what I mean? Now, let's move on to that Garden State, shall we? There are some rumors swirling around. The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Uh, we already know that they started filming here and there just a little bit, kind of like getting their feet wet. And we know that Teresa Giudice, listen, I think Bravo was like, they want nothing to do with this fighting with her and her brother. They want nothing to do with bloggers and all that stuff that ruined Real Housewives of New Jersey. She's taken no accountability for any of that and has literally just passed the plate to Jennifer Aiden. And now we're hearing the real story. Okay. So the real story is that according to Radar Online, they are claiming that Teresa Giudice reached out to her cousin, Kathy Waikili, to try and team up against the Gorgas. She wanted an ally. It's just unbelievable what this woman will do. So, Kathy supposedly showed no interest whatsoever in engaging whatsoever. And, desperate people do desperate things. So, guess what she did? This insider actually is saying that it reeks of someone who is desperate. Duh. The thing is that she reached out to Kathy Wakili before she reached out to Joe Gorga. Did you hear what I said? She reached out to Kathy Wakili before she even reached out to her own brother. I feel sorry for Joe because he came. I mean, listen, she's been going from podcast to podcast to podcast. Oh, I did special forces. And, Gia and I had a lot of time to talk. And I realized, you just got to put things in the past and move forward. And now I'm starting to feel sorry for Joe Gorga because he came out and made a statement. Yes, my sister contacted me. And, that's my sister. I'm a softie. I'm going to listen to what she has to say. And as long as she says I'm sorry, we can move on. She hasn't changed, Joe. Listen to me. She hasn't changed. There was no epiphany here. Her epiphany is, oh crap. I might not be on the show next season. I'm going to be missing a huge paycheck. That's her epiphany. Please, Joe, listen to everybody. Please listen to me. I'm looking out for you, Joe. Really, I am. And so then we have the last bit of legal drama going on. Are you ready? You know it. The Oseffos back to Potomac. So apparently Dr. Wendy Oseffo is fighting back against her recent arrest. She and her husband Eddie were. Let me just remind you of what's going on here, okay? Wendy and Eddie Oseffo, they allegedly reported a burglary and a theft at their home while they were in Jamaica this is when they came back, in 2024. Now, they are accused of filing false insurance claims for stolen property. The actual charges are insurance fraud, which I believe is 7 counts on her, which is a felony, 9 counts on him. They're being charged with conspiracy to commit fraud. That's 6 misdemeanors on her and 8 misdemeanors on him, I think. And false statement to law enforcement. In total, the couple is facing 16 charges of felonies, or felony charges, rather. However, Wendy's legal team has filed motions to dismiss all charges. You heard me. Yes. They want to dismiss all charges. It is crazy what's going on over here. So let me just read to you what realityt.com, I love them over there, shout out to them, is saying. The court documents are in, and Wendy Osefo wants her charges thrown out. The Real Housewives of Potomac star is gearing up for her first day in court following her dramatic arrest alongside husband Eddie Osefo. In our first look at her criminal defense, Wendy and her lawyers claim that she was the victim of an illegal arrest due to defects in the charging document. They're demanding that the court dismiss all of her charges. They're not saying her husband, just her. U.S. Weekly Review court documents submitted by Wendy's lawyer on October 17th, just 1 week after she and Eddie were each arrested on multiple counts of insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, and making a false statement to police officers. Now, according to the court filing, Wendy and her lawyer have issues with the ways the cops showed up at the Osefo residence on the evening of October 9th. The authorities poked around through the home. They found several high-dollar items that the Osefos allegedly reported as stolen to both the police and the insurance companies. However, Wendy and her lawyers want all of that evidence tossed out. The court documents urge that a judge reject all admissions, statements, or confessions, arguing that cops obtained them unlawfully. The filing also asked the court to suppress all evidence because of an unlawful search and seizure. The Real Housewives of Potomac star also demanded the suppression of wire and verbal communications because of an unlawful interception. Essentially, they believe that all the elements of this case were executed illegally and shouldn't hold any ground in court. Additionally, the filing asked for the trial of co-defendants be severed from the trials of this defendant. That means that she wants the case to be separated from her husband, Eddie. Now, let's think about this, people, for a second. Okay, let's break this down. Okay, and we're going to break it down in a shocking way, too. All right. So, number one, they want all of this thrown out, including any confessions or admissions. Did somebody admit something or confess something? They also they're saying that they obtain things illegally, including like communication. I'm thinking they're talking about that email, that confesses all. They also do not want to have them both in the same case. They now want it separated with separate attorneys. Right? Now that's not so bad, okay? Because you can hear my dog, Lulu. Go lay down. Go lay down. You can he gets all excited too, just like I do. That's like crazy. Okay. Now, the thing is this. Okay. Before this came out, I mean, like, maybe 24 hours before this comes out. All right. Bravo Snark side got a blind item. Okay. And the blind item reads, this housewife thinks she can win a trial. She can't. She also wants to stretch it out as long as possible so she can keep filming and keep getting paid. Watch her try and throw her husband under the bus, too. Yep, you heard me. This is a blind item that Bravo Snark side was sharing on Instagram. I'll read this one more time just so it sinks in. This housewife thinks she can win at trial. She can't. She also wants to stretch it out as long as possible so she can keep filming and keep getting paid. Watch her try and throw her husband under the bus, too. Crazy. This came out maybe 24 hours before this comes out. And guess what? She wants no part of the case with her husband. She's getting a separate attorney. I'm thinking that because he wrote that in an email, I'm thinking because he was the one that was recorded when he was speaking to the insurance companies about what was missing and all the details and all that, that she's going to separate herself and say, I had no part of this. You have nothing on me. What evidence do you have that I did this? Think about it, people. Crazy, right? Crazy. Because there's a lot of evidence there. And I think they know it. Somebody has to stay home with the kids. I think they've discussed it. And I think they figure she has a better chance of maybe getting out of this, keeping a paycheck, and being able to be with the kids. Because right now, it's not looking good for either one of them. I mean, seriously. Seriously, it's not looking good. That's the way it goes, people. That's the way it goes. As my mom used to always say, you play with fire, you're gonna get burned. And they have a lot of burns. All right. Let's unpack the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But before we do, take a listen to this. You're going to absolutely love it. I mean, really do. Take a listen to this. This is about Morning Save. I love Morning Save. Take a listen to this. I want to tell you about this website called Morning Save. I am obsessed with this website. Their motto is big savings, top brands, new daily. Seriously, that's their motto. Big savings, top brands, new daily. That is exactly what it is. I've been a member with them for about 2 years now. I love them. Matter of fact, this is how I do on my Christmas shopping. I'm not kidding. You can get stuff 70% off, 80% off, sometimes 90% off. I'm not joking. From jewelry to luxury handbags to vacuum cleaners. I mean, you name it, this site has it. And we are talking cheap. I'm not joking. And so now I'm going to share it with all of you, my breakers. So make sure that you look down in the description And I have the link of how to get to Morning Save. Make sure you do this. I'm not joking. You will save so much money. It doesn't hurt to look, right? So go to the link, click on it, and I guarantee you when you see this, you're going to be like, Cece, why didn't you tell us sooner? I mean, it is a hidden secret, and now I'm sharing it with all of you, my breakers. Morning Save. Check it out in the link down below. Don't forget to check Morning Save out, okay? So we're unpacking the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 6, episode 10. God, 10 already. The episode is titled Out of Gas. I can tell you, these ladies are never out of gas. I mean, they are always going for it. This is probably becoming one of my favorite shows. I absolutely love them. So this starts out, you have to remember, we're picking it up after the train wreck of Whitney's wine tasting. Oh boy. And Lisa and Angie, they are still at each other's throats. But the real tension is now with Mary and Angie because of Angie's behavior. And it's, such a classic Mary. So Mary goes over to Angie's house to meet with her. And, she makes it clear, look, it's not just about the fighting, but are you ready for this? It's about Angie making fun of Mary Cosby's farting. Yeah, you heard me. Making fun of Mary Cosby's farting. I mean, this conversation is crazy. It is all about made fun of the farting, then the dog farted, you could smell the dog's farts. It wasn't my fart. My fart doesn't stink because I eat healthy. Farting. We are talking about farting, people. Farting. I mean, while Angie's saying this, you know, when Mary's saying this, Angie's like doing everything not to pee herself laughing. She's really trying to hold it together because she wants to make amends with Mary because she really does love and care about Mary, and they're friends even off the show now. I think they do spend some time together, and she wants to, get the air cleared, so to speak, right? I mean, hello. Seriously, we're talking about farting. You made fun of my farting. Then the dog farted. Then it stunk. Then he blamed me for the fart. Well, my farts don't stink. Crazy. But the two of them wind up hugging. And so far, hopefully, they are back on track. I really like these two together. I really, really do. And then Heather meets up with Lisa to go shopping. I absolutely love Heather this season. She's not riding the fence. She's not playing both sides of it. She's being direct, and I am here for it. So she's talking to Lisa, and she's trying to get Lisa to take some accountability for digging up dirt on all the women in the cast because she's done that. And Lisa's just not having it. She will not take any accountability whatsoever. Sound familiar with another housewife? But she won't up to anything. Then it comes. Heather asks the question, Who's the soup man? I wanted to know who the soup man was. Everybody else wanted to know who the soup man was. Thank you, Heather, for asking the question. Who's the soup man? There is no soup man. She said suit man. That's what she said. Suit man. And she only threw it out there. You know, put it on a ball, threw it on a wall to see if it would stick. Suit man. I'm a little disappointed. Thought maybe when I go to visit Salt Lake City one day, I'd know where to get soup. But instead, it's an imaginary suit man. So there's the answer to that. And this is the core issue with Lisa, and Heather says it. You know, you're a risky effing friend. And because you never know when she's going to turn on you or what she's going to be saying behind your back. And then Heather goes to Meredith, and they're taking this nice walk. And, you know, I don't know what's going on with Meredith. Meredith, blink twice. Like, seriously. Does she have something on you? Come on, you can tell me. Because the way you're acting, it's like she has something on you. I mean, there's evidence floating all around you, okay? Even in Meredith's confessional, for one, you know, she's saying, like, why is everything Angie says suddenly gossip? I mean, gospel. Like, this is the same woman who accused Heather of Barbie scissor kicks with Jen Shaw. The hypocrisy is real. No, this is different. You know, and Meredith, Heather's trying to tell Meredith. She said this. She was digging up dirt about you. No, Meredith will not have it. She was on Watch What Happens Live and was still sticking by Lisa. She would not say one bad thing. She wouldn't even say she didn't like an outfit if she was asked. I'm serious. Like, I'm really thinking Lisa has something on Meredith. Because when you have all of this evidence around you, she's done it to you in the past. She even on an off camera, but a hot mic moment. I mean, she spilled the beans on what she thought she had on you. This is no surprise to you. And yet, you've forgotten all that? I think Lisa has something on Meredith. I do. I don't know what it is. But as they say, the truth always comes out. So I'm here for it. I'm just waiting. Then you see it's Mary, Whitney, and Angie. Now they are filling out their papers for going onto the yacht, because you need to tell them like what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like, what you need, so that they can source it to the yacht so that, they're prepared for you. That's the whole yachting experience, that they know what you want before you ask for it. That's how it should be, okay? But the only one that has not filled out their paperwork, as Whitney says, the most bougie one on the bunch, is Angie. Mary, I'm sorry. Mary. So Mary's filling out the paperwork, and Whitney's like, did you see the headlines in the news? And Angie's like, yeah. And Mary's like, no, what's going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. It is all about Bronwyn, okay? The news breaks out that Bronwyn's old has identity theft charges. That was the last headline that Whitney saw. And I love Whitney's reaction. I mean, really, her confessional was priceless. She was like, I try to choose friends who are not part of the Utah crime circle, but obviously my picker is wrong. Her picker is wrong. I love me some Whitney. But I have to tell you what this is about. So, this is like college era mistakes. So, Bronwyn herself admitted that she had an eviction notice after leaving BYU. That was about 20 years ago, which she later resolved. That's not a big deal, right? Then she had fraud and identity theft rumors. They were allegations of identity theft, grand theft, and fraud. Now, these were tied to a case that Bronwyn says is nearly a decade old. It's not recent. And the court filings is that, according to even her own statements, the case was dismissed and sealed, which means the official filings aren't accessible to the public, and she's not allowed to speak about it. Mm-hmm. Now, I can tell you that just because the case was dismissed doesn't mean she didn't have her hands in the cookie jar there. It just means that the case could not go forward. Having it sealed is interesting. Like, what was she involved with? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, it really does make you wonder. Mm-hmm. So then we see Bronwyn and her husband, and they're discussing this. Let me tell you something, Todd. Like, he doesn't mix words. He's cold. He certainly isn't the most loving or happy person, let's put it that way. And they're talking about this, and Bronwyn is saying to him, like, I know this affects your business, your job. You can't be, having your wife being, claimed that she had anything to do with even the word fraud. And he's basically saying to her, yes, that's true. He obviously knows the truth, but he does not want her going on this trip. He has pretty much put the law down on this. And if she goes, she's a big girl. She can do what she wants. But he made it sound like there's going to be repercussions if she goes. That's how I took it. I don't know how you took it, but that's how I took it. That's for sure. And there's completely no love lost when it comes to Lisa. Like, seriously. He even says he wouldn't piss on her brain if it was on fire. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. I wouldn't piss on her brain if it was on fire. Kind of like that. I might steal that one. But the way he's speaking to Bronwyn, he's serious. Like, it's a little chilling, to be honest. the way he treats her sometimes. Um, and that's how it ended. Now, they did give you the preview of the ladies being on the yacht. You know, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that you have Lisa and Angie who are going at each other. Um, Bronwyn definitely thinks that Lisa put this out in the papers because she's done it before, right? I mean, hello. And Heather is confronting Lisa in the preview, and she's telling Lisa, "Yeah, I think you put this out in the papers. You're the one with the dirt that put it out there." And then, of course, Lisa goes running away. "I've never done anything to any of these people." Wah, wah, wah. Of course you have. They know it. They're just throwing it back in your face this time. They're not just swallowing it and saying, "Oh, that's just Lisa." Well, except for Meredith. Because apparently, Lisa, you have something on Meredith. I am convinced about it. And I think one day it's going to come out. And then Meredith's going to be like, "Well, I had to say those things, or I had to act that way because she was going to spill the beans on God knows what it is," right? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. So what did you think? I think it was a great episode. I mean, you totally was going from one thing to another thing to another thing, and I was here for it, that's for sure. I'm here for, listen, I love the season so far. I really, really do. I would love to hear what you think. I love to hear your comments. Make sure you put them down below. But before you do, you know what I ask all the time. Make sure you like. It's important. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Because here, we break the dish.